Okay, folks, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, I guess I'm going to be your friendly Battle Force commander today, because today we're going to be carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, but at the last minute we found that a couple players could not make it, and we had known before that a couple other players weren't going to be able to make it, so we were down to just myself and Darren, and we talked through a couple of options, and Darren had happened to mention that this is a couple of weeks back, or 2 weeks back, that he had played Battletech, the video games, or some of the video games, but had not played the tabletop game as an adult and had not played the role-playing game ever. So we figured today would be a good opportunity to get Darren in the mech pilot seat, get on his Nero helmet, and take Battletech out for a spin. So I'm talking about him like he's not here. Let me introduce you to the star of today's session, and it's Darren.
Hello there, yeah, Darren. I'm going to be apparently playing Prince Azam Malik. Is it Marek Agani?
Marek Agani, yeah.
Agani, yeah.
So one of the things, next year we're going to be playing a series of charity sessions by request from some of the players, and Darren had requested a Battletech session. Darren is not there are different stages of Battletech fans in the same way you talk about like diseases. And yes, if you're a stage 4 Battletech fan, that's where you get really deep into the lore and whatnot. Darren fortunately has a less serious case of Battletech than some of us, but I wanted you to appreciate the books that were used. This was originally something that was written for Will, and we still may run this at some point, but the books that were referenced in writing this particular mini campaign include the Star League Defense Force Guide, Liberation of Terra 1 and 2, the Error Report for 2750. These are three books that are all set about 300 years before the actual default start of the Fourth Succession War, which is one of the starting points for Battletech. And there's almost no rules in any of this. This is just all lore stuff. So there is a real deep well of nerdistry that you can get into in this. I mentioned it because I've gone to great length. The name of the campaign is Jesters and Kings, in part because you are playing the heir apparent to one of the semi-influential planets in what's called the Free Worlds League. The campaign would have started in 2701, so about 50 years before the events of some of these things. Wait, is it 2701? Oh, it might be actually after that. No, it's in the 2050s as well. And the reason being is because there is, in the default setting of the Battletech world, there are it's a quasi-feudal setting. Well, not quasi, it's a mostly feudal setting. And there are 5 major kind of powers that control the galaxy. They are the House Merrick, who runs the Free Worlds League. This changes at different parts in the history of the setting and as the time advances. But broadly speaking, there's 5 major ones up until the time of the clan invasion. And those are the Free Worlds League under House Merrick, the Draconis Combine under House Karita, the Lyran Commonwealth under House Steiner, the Federated Sons under House Davian, and there is the Capellan Confederation under House Liao. The Free Worlds League is the biggest kind of patchwork of different it's closer to like a republic, where it's an association of different smaller groups, and that means that the politicking of the different smaller houses are really important for the different for the effective functioning of the what's it called, the Prince General. I'm trying to remember the name of the head of the Captain General, the Free Worlds League, who is like the head of this. all this is to say this takes place at a time about 250 or 300 years before what you're likely going to be familiar with, but much of the stuff that is Battletech is the same. One thing that is a big difference is mercenaries are really not a thing at this point. There's still lots of... and this is also before there's the decline of technology. Humanity at this point is still on the ascent. In the campaign setting officially, about 16 years from now is when something called the Amaris coup occurs, and that's kind of when everything goes to pot. The Amaris coup involves a murder of the ruling family of... There is a sixth unit called the... I can't remember what it's called. House Cameron is the house that rules it, and they are the ones who also run the Star League, which at this time is kind of like a big group or a big organization that unites all the different disparate states. Star League you may remember only because it's mentioned a lot in the more modern stuff, because there's a couple of video games that involve like uncovering a Star League cache. And what that means is this incredibly advanced technology, because after the Amaris coup, that leads into the first succession war after the Star League Defense Force. They break up the Star League and the Star League Defense Force under the general who basically successfully put down the Amaris coup. He and all his followers just disappeared. They all met up at one system, and like 85% of the Star League Defense Force just fucking disappeared. And for 250 years or 300 years, they just never appeared in history. And then the clan invasion came, and they, the heirs of Kerensky were reintroduced into the Battletech universe. The reason I mention all this stuff is because this is sort of like the last gasp of the golden age for or at least that's the way it will be remembered later on. The truth is that things are always shitty. Like, there's always shit going on. There's always, internal struggles, and there's always problems. And in this case, this catches you at a time where there was the family of the last Captain General was assassinated, the bomb threat. And the one survivor who becomes the ruler of it is only really there because of a huge amount of cybernetics. So at this time... This is the origin of cybernetics in the Free Worlds League are really frowned upon, and it's because of the ruling of this particular Captain General, who some people whisper is driven by the machine more than the man. So there is a machine driving, running this stuff. It leads to a long-standing distrust and hatred of cybernetics that carries through into the modern era of the Free Worlds League. You are currently... You are the son of the ruler. Let me see here. I think it is the planet Peck, which, PEC, settled by Kosovar travelers. The capital is Pristina, and the language is Albanian. Your father is the, I want to say Duke. Sorry, for those listening at home, it's been over a year since we threw these notes together for a different campaign.
Yeah, he's an heir to the Duke, so it must be.
Heir to the Duke, there you go, so it must be a Duke. So let's very quickly talk about what your character's abilities are. All that stuff, I know that you're not really into the setting information for it, but I mention all of that only to give you, because I think one of the things that's really cool and really engaging about the Battletech universe is that it's the way I describe it to folks who aren't familiar with Battletech is that it's Game of Thrones with giant robots and no dragons. Right? Yeah. It's dynastic struggles, it's intrigue, it's backstabbing by family members, and it's singular combatants can make a difference in a large conflict because of battle mechs. So you have, let's see here, your abilities, your stats, I think, will mostly make sense. The one that we need to talk about is Edge. And for those who may be unfamiliar, there are 5 different versions of Battletech RPGs, 2 of which are largely using the same mechanics. Technically, there's 6, because there's 2 different ones that are named the same that are basically the same game, but we're using the Battletech Time of War RPG. This one is the most recent reprint of the Time of War that came out from Catalyst recently. Edge is a narrative metacurrency. And you can spend Edge. Let me tell you here. I think it's a 1-for-1 to affect dice rolls, but let me double check that. Okay, where are you here? You tell me a book this size, you don't have an index in it? Come on, game. Don't let me down. Lots of reference tables, no index. That is... Oh, there is index right here. Here we go. We talked about it before we went live, but task resolution, this is one thing that this role-playing game has in common with one other version, is that it's 2d6 task resolution. The previous one used 2d10, which actually I think works a little better, but having 2d6 as your task resolution syncs nicely with the tabletop game, which uses the exact same thing. All right, here we go. Edge, which 35. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Edge can be... Oh, man. It just tells me what I've already summarized, but not the particulars. And here we go. Edge, here we go. So Edge can be burned to affect the dice rolls, modifying the dice roll by a number of points, or forcing the check to be re-rolled. So if you burn Edge before you roll,
gives you a plus, does it?
+2 to the result.
Oh, 2.
Yeah, or you can spend it before I roll to impose it on my rolls. After the roll, it's a 1-for-1. So before the roll, plus 1 for 2. After the roll, 1-for-1. Yeah, you recover it. Whenever the dice are particularly cruel to you, you recover 1 edge. So this is when you're getting really bad failures or a sequence of failures. If you perform significantly good deeds, you can get it back. There's getting back the edge you burn. It's called burning, but it's not like the way burning is meant in some other games where you never get it back.
Yeah. Okay. Does it reset at the start of a session, or is it you have to earn it back?
Let's see here. No, you generally need to have those other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Do it to get it back.
So it is. Yeah.
If it gets down to 0 edge, you must spend XP in order to get it back.
Okay.
So it's sort of that last.
I quite like the fact it gives you double if you sort of pay up front.
Yeah, that's a nice way of incentivizing.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, what we're going to... So your abilities... Equipped means you just have access to better gear. Your title means that you have a lot of influence, so in social situations you get some modifiers where that would be beneficial. In for life is a disadvantage. Safe is the... effectively the secret police of the Merrick state. It's a relatively recent thing, and it's relatively... has been introduced by, or rather in response to the assassination of the previous Captain General's family. There's a terror organization called the Scourge of Death that is the anti-Free Worlds League, or at least anti-Merrick group. And there's another influential house, not the Merrick-Agani house, but another house that is influential with Safe. Safe is kind of like I think the German Stasi is probably the best equivalent, because like you can never know who's part of it. You know, there's a story I remember from my German history class of a husband and wife in like the late 80s, early 90s, when the Berlin Wall fell and they were able to request the Stasi files. They found out that both of them were agents spying on one another. You know, and that's kind of what SAFE can be like, is where it is at this stage they're slowly spreading their tendrils out, and your skills. The target number is basically what you. I've got it listed on here. That includes the modifier you would get from your stats. So there are linked attributes that are linked up to different skills, and they can modify your target numbers, and I've already done that for you. So, for instance, your gunnery, the things that are going to be of most interest for today are your gunnery mech, which is a 3, your piloting mech, which is a 3. Both of those are quite good. An average starting mech pilot has a 4-5, 4 in gunnery, 5 in piloting. So you're quite good in those things. And where is the sensor operation? Sensor operation is going to be quite useful as well. That's not sensor operation, unless you're playing with really advanced rules, generally don't come up in Battletech, but because we're playing a quasi role-playing game, it may come up today. I'm, I think, physically incapable of not trying to not inject story into any game we're playing, regardless of.
That's your perception check, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The other things are unlikely to come up, but just so you know, if for whatever reason one of them does seem like it might be, useful, please feel free to put that in. You have an ability called Oblique Attacker, and what Oblique Attacker does is normally you need line of sight in order to hit a target. One of the exceptions to that is if you are using long-range missiles. Long-range missiles in particular, can be fired up and down onto things. You take a penalty to that, but in your case, you get a +1 to attacks when you're firing indirectly. And this is the really big part. You can identify a target's location without the benefit of a spotter. Normally, in order to fire indirectly, you need to have another target there. So one tactic might be, especially in a city or whatnot, send out a smaller, more maneuverable maneuverable mech, maybe even one with the jump jet capabilities, to position itself, spot for someone else, and then send all the destruction coming down. Yep. You just need to make a sensor operation check, and then you can identify where the target is. So that's that. Let's talk about your battle mech. And for those listening at home, this is obviously not the ideal way to track a battle or damage on a battle mech or ammo on a battle mech, but we're making best use of what we've got available. So this is your mech, the Archer, and I'd like you to consider what name you've given it, because every mech has a name. Armor works like hit points in any other role-playing game. And then the number so whatever number is there first is how much armor you've got. As long as you've got armor and you're just taking armor damage, no worries. Unless there's a critical hit. Critical hits are ways when you start damaging systems. The number in the brackets is your internal structure. And I got to double check, but from what I recall, anytime you take internal structure damage, you roll for a potential critical. So you may be blowing up something inside there. Once you lose all your internal structure, assuming you haven't had like an ammo cache hit that blows up and is going to detonate your mech, or you haven't overheated to the point of shutdown. If it destroys all of the armor and the internal structure, that place is destroyed. That part of your limb is destroyed. So you could fall down, you could lose an arm, you could whatever. If you lose your head, you die, because that is where your cockpit is. You can eject. There is an eject system, but there's like a roll that goes for that. Anytime you're hit in the head, you have to make a consciousness check as well. Your weaponry, you'll see there are set stages. We're going to play using the basic level Battletech rules for this. So it's regimented for all combat takes place simultaneously. So there isn't a matter of like getting out, getting a quick shot off, and taking someone down before they can respond.
Okay.
Battletech is very much a game of attrition. You can play with more advanced rules in the Battletech role-playing game that does incorporate an element of timing, so there's a little more ability for quick, lighter weapons to be used more quickly, but we're not playing with those because it adds an unnecessary level of complexity. The other thing to keep track of is your heat.
Yeah.
So heat is the biggest mitigating factor in Battletech. We're playing with what are succession level technology rules, so it's the basic level that was originally in the game and then is now used as sort of like the intro level for it. That means that you do not have access to a technology called double heat sinks. Double heat sinks are awesome because they dissipate twice as much heat as you have heat sinks. You have 10 heat sinks. Almost anything you do will generate heat on a round per round basis, and it's at the end of the round is it the end of the round where that dissipates heat? Let me see here. I grabbed one. It'll be in my Battletech manual. So the other book we're using today is this new Battletech manual, which is their newest introduction to Battletech. And it's gorgeous. It's a really, really nice looking book. Okay, here we go. Playing the game. Sequence of play. Yeah, heat phase is near the end. So 5, that's when it dissipates the heat. Walking generates 1 point of heat. Running generates 2 points of heat. Jumping generates a minimum of 3 to a maximum of 1 per hex you move. You don't need to worry about it. The archer is not equipped with jump jets.
Yeah.
Weapons fire depends on the weapon you're using. Oh, and I did grab the wrong one. Let me grab that out. Ooh. The thing I was actually looking for, I forgot to grab. I want to say, it says in the thing here. So your LRMs.
Yeah, I've got all the heats on there.
Generate 2 per shot. Your lasers are 2. You'll also see
3.
that.
Yeah.
3. Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw the 2. So the 2 ones in your CT, that's your center torso, those are facing rear. So that means that you're not able to. That's the wrong thing. You're not able to fire.
That's a defensive thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Pounding magnetic location clusters. Hold up. I'm just trying to find the list of weapons. No. Okay. For those listening at home, I'm flipping through all my things here that have the cheat sheets for the different weapons on them. And it's been a while, so I don't know where they are. This one will do. That's additional inner sphere. Where is it? Here we go. Inner sphere weapons. I should say as well, too, for those listening at home, I haven't run Battletech in about 10 years, so I am certain I'm going to screw up some rules today, so please accept my apologies for what we're going to fuck up on today's session. So, all right, so anyway, that is the thing. Let's get you in the cockpit. No better way to learn about Battletech than by getting in there. So, this, we will assume, is a training simulation. This is on, if we're playing on official Battletech maps, they will have a lot of stuff clearly labeled in it. So they'll be like level 1, level 2, so it'll tell you how high things are. We're going to have to use our judgment on this.
That's fine.
What I'm going to assume is that each of the green, any area, any hex that has green in it is going to be a heavy, we'll say the first hex going into any like forest area will be light woods. A second one will be heavy woods. The reason that's important is because moving into different terrain costs different amounts of movement. So moving into light woods costs you 1, moving into heavy woods costs you 2. It also affects your line of sight. So the more woods that you're going through, the less likely you are to be able to establish just a straight line of sight.
Yeah.
The rule is, here we go. Line of sight. 3 or more points of intervening woods blocks line of sight. Light woods is worth 1 point. Heavy woods is worth 2.
Okay.
So you know what? Why don't we set them as light woods? Because that way you're not just having giant blocks of stuff. You could actually engage in those woods then. There are certain circumstances that will require you to make a pouting check. One of those is if you are turning on pavement, if you're when you're running. So we'll just assume that anything that has a road here is an actual roadway. So if you make a turn on that when you're running, you will have to make a pouting check to avoid falling.
Okay.
Falling is another thing where you get to make consciousness checks because you're all jostled around in your thing. I will tell you there are like a host of rules for including things like ambient conditions and whatever. Like so, cold might give everyone 1 extra point of heat relief or whatnot, and blowing particles can add to hit locations. I got so fucking into those things on one session, it basically became impossible for my enemy mechs to hit the players. So we're going to not play with any of those today for fear of me overdoing it. But just be aware that there are those kinds of things you can incorporate as well. There is only 1 lake in here. But you can, the advantage of that is you can actually submerge yourself in there, so you can get yourself some cover in there. And if there are heat sinks located in your legs, you can also dissipate heat faster by being in cold water. Let's also, for fun, say that the piles of snow that are located on here, those will serve the same purpose. If you stomp your way into there, it will be as if you're in water. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, in the fiction... Oh, there's two. Look at that. There's 2 pools. Never mind. So here's what you have been provided. This is your tactical display that would show up. It's actually ever so slowly loading on my screen too. So here we go. This is the tactical display. What has been said? You are going to be infiltrated near a service garage near the edge of kind of the combat zone. What there is a group of Scourge of Death cultists are apparently, or terrorists, are apparently operating out of this mountain lodge on, I don't know, Nameless Planet Joe. And what normally the organization for a mech kind of squad is 4 mechs, a lance. And the 3 lances make up a company? No. Maybe it's a company? And then I think 3 of those make up a battalion. I don't remember. It's been so long. I'm sure there's folks in either chat or in the comment section afterwards who are going to correct me on this. I know the 4 to a lance is definitely correct. I just don't remember if the next organization level up is the company or if it's called something else. But in any event, I don't think it's called a company. What is it called? Sorry, I'm just going to quickly look it up because it's going to drive me nuts otherwise. This is completely unimportant for this. This is one of the risks you run of playing Battletech is you feel like, well, I want to make it, setting accurate.
Yeah, I'd love to play with an official fan like Will one day.
Oh yeah, it will be insufferable because we'll keep talking about, obscure shit from the lore.
I'll still enjoy it.
I really hope that I let Will know that that was selected. And he's definitely going to try and make make it work on his when we pick a date for it to make sure he's available for it too. So that'll be awesome. Oh, for Pete's sake. I don't have it available here. I'm sure that's the whatever. I think it's company. Lance company. Anyway, I'll check during our break. Anyway, the long and short of those is for the purpose of this training exercise, you are here on your own. We can assume you're in some kind of, or maybe you are, practicing actual live fire stuff. You are the prince, so I'm sure people will treat you very delicately. Mechs, broadly speaking, at this era are divided into 4 different categories: light mechs, medium mechs, heavy mechs, and assault mechs. Archer is at the kind of heavier end of the heavy mech category. Assault mechs at this time are relatively new. Assault mechs go up to 100 tons. The light mechs, I'm trying to remember the differentiation. I think light mechs go up to 25 tons, and then from 30 to 50, 50 or 55 maybe is the medium mechs, and then like 60 to I think 70 or 75 is the heavy mechs. Anything heavier than that is an assault mech. Again, I probably have those numbers incorrect because it's been a while, but what that means is you are a very heavy, heavily armored, and an archer is also kind of an ideal thing. One thing I did not take advantage of, I love in this. So one of the things they added, even in the basic level, is that in each of the one of the things that distinguished the publisher, FASA, the original publisher of Battletech, from some other games, is that they always had tons of in-universe fiction in their games. So, like, you would read in your technical readout, which has all the stats for the mechs and whatnot in there, they'd have a listing of like notable variants and little background about them and notable mech warriors who have piloted them. And sometimes they'd give you little interesting tidbits that really had no game mechanics. Like, for instance, that the the Atlas or the Battlemaster, a classic mech, had a command and control unit in it, and like there were no rules for that, but the fact that it was in there was kind of like, oh, cool, that's a neat bit of fiction in the universe. Well, what this battle manual does is it gives you traits for it, so little game mechanics to reflect what the fiction has said for 30 years or whatever. And the archer, this is the overview. The archer, with its low-slung torso, massive fists, and missile bay coverings, has one of the most recognizable battle mech profiles. Designed for heavy-hitting, long-range brawling, and fire support, production commenced in 2474. Despite the carnage of the succession wars, the archer continues to be popular to this day. The reason that's worth noting is because the archer has a trait that is basically that you've got powerful fists. You've got a command mech. Here's the thing. It's got, I'll go order in the order it's listed here. Where are the quirks listed? Hold on. There we go. Oh, it's in strategic operations, which is in here, Battlefist. You receive -1 target number modifier when making punch attacks because the fists are so heavily armored. It's easier for you to land a punch with it because melee is also a thing in Battletech. Kicking, punching, death from above, where you use your thing, charging, where you slam into it. Yep, all part of Battletech. So for punching, you get -1 difficulty with it. It's also a command mech, which won't come into play, but it gets you up. When one of these battle mechs are on the battlefield, the force receives +1 to initiative rolls. So your CNC module will help you there. It is stable, which means you can rely on it to pick you up at the airport. No, it means, let's see. -1 target number when forced to make piloting checks as a result of physical attacks. So it takes hits as well as it receives them or dishes them out, and is ubiquitous, which means that it's very easy to find replacement parts for it. It's common as dirt. So
yep.
So that is the archer. That's also I'll stop talking about this nonsense. So this is where you are. One thing that we will also say is you will sensors. I'm assuming one of the things that you normally rules is written. You place if there's battle mechs on a board, you just place them there. But I'm going to say that you're going to need to make sensor rolls to actually kind of identify what's out there. So,
okay.
Do you have any questions before we dive into our training scenario here?
No, but Jeff did put in the chat that there's 4 mechs in a lance, 12 per company and 36 per battalion.
36. Oh, so it is 3. So I had it right. Thank you, Jeff. That's awesome. It's like resin up there. It's just never going to get out. All right. So then, an initiative, incidentally, just means you get to move second. Normally, what you do is, like if you're facing, you sort of split them up. So, like, if you win, and if you're forced one initiative, the other side would move first, and then you would move one, and then I would move one, and you would move one. Yeah.
And then it's simultaneous shooting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So one thing that I do when we're playing in person is I use little dice to mark down what the modifiers would be for shooting. And it's for targeting that target. So, and that only comes from moving, either whether you're running really fast or whether you're jumping. So at the end of your move, I don't think that's likely to come up for for you, but it's possible. If you move 6 hexes in a round, people have +2 to their target number to hit you. So if that happens, I would suggest just clicking on your token and maybe grab one of the like red icon and put like a 2 down there, so we know what the modifier is to hit you. Okay. And I'll do the same thing.
Run full speed, yeah.
Yeah, look at that's if you run. So, all right. So then you have been dropped off. There's been a drop pod, I guess, that has deployed you here. You know that these mechs or these enemy mechs are supposed to be at the at this compound. What you've heard is at most 2 light mechs, but that should be it. So you should be more than up to the task of taking them down. Mm-hmm. So then, on round 1, let me just do one thing here. Your turn. So, what would you like to do? We'll go through the phases in order, so you know what they are. Initiative phase, movement phase, weapon attack phase, physical attack phase, heat phase, end phase. So initiative phase, we each roll 2d6, add the results together, and in your case, you get +1 because of your command structure, or command whatever it's called. So let's do it. All right, I got a 10.
2d6 +1.
Yeah. 6. All right. So why don't you go ahead and move first? And we'll say it's a free action because these rounds are at like I think it's 30 seconds is each combat round in Battletech. It's either 30 seconds or a minute. But in any event, it doesn't really matter. My point being is that you've got more than enough time to activate your sensors if you wish to as well.
Okay. So literally 1 turn in of a face is 1 movement.
Correct.
As far as if I'm walking 4, I can turn 1 and then move 1, 2. So I'm going to start walking in that direction.
Okay.
Can I? How much range are the sensors? What's
That's a
the
good
range
question.
on them?
I don't know.
Oh, it does say. Oh, in the.
It's like a penalty for like half a kilometer, right?
Yeah, every half a kilometer's -1 on that check for the pilot ability. So I should.
So that is so 500 meters would be half a kilometer. So it'd be -1 to scan, or +1 to your target
direction.
number. Yeah, in that direction.
All right.
Then give it a go.
Yeah.
Go right
Is
ahead.
this heat related?
No, sensors don't generate any heat.
Okay.
Okay.
So sensor operation is target number 3.
3, so then it'll be +1 from the range. 4 less on 2d6.
4 less on 2d6. Okay.
Amazing. So, what you pick up is, allow me to reveal, not only can you see that there are, how about I go with the right layer here? Not the lighting layer, although I did give some thought to using dynamic lighting on this map. Let's see here. Hold on, did I actually do that? You can see over there, right?
I can see everything.
Okay, cool. There was one version of this where I went in and I set up dynamic lighting stuff to try and block lines of sight for certain things. I'm like, so be really realistic. I'm like, what are you fucking doing, Madison? Come on. It's unnecessary. But here's what you notice. So for one thing, there are 2 light battle mechs that are out there. Those are assassins. Assassin is a light and relatively quick. So divide the movements by 3. I had originally set these up to use with the role-playing game scale. They're fairly quick, and they got a mixed bag of weaponry. They're not very tough because 40 tons. Are they light or are they medium? Hold on.
That's probably sneaked into the medium.
Yeah, I think. Let me take a look here.
Just,
Assassin is
maybe.
medium max. Yep, it's a medium mech. So the Assassin is considered by many military financial experts outside the Star League as more of a political pork project than a potent fighting machine. The Assassin nonetheless turned out to be a solid mech in combat against light lances. So this is a fairly light, much quicker than yours, much less heavily armored than. What you also find is there is another light mech, or medium mech. That is, went on the light layer again. Come on, Madison. Concealed in the water. One thing you can do is you can hide. If you're in a place where people can't, find you, you can hide. Great way of. If you are attacked, having the tactical advantage, but your sensor rolls so good, you actually picked up that there is a hidden Shadow Hawk in there, and a Shadow Hawk is this here.
Oof.
Shadow Hawk is a 55-ton mech. It is a little more heavily armed and a little more heavily armored than what it's significantly heavier armored than what the Assassin is, but it is slower.
Where was that? Sorry. Oh, in there. Yeah. In there.
Yeah. It's
like in front of them.
Yeah, and you can see it's two levels down, so it's completely concealed by the water. But it means that it is what do you call it?
Is it still targetable, and is there any penalties for
firing?
Get any sort of protection from that side of things?
I think you do. Let me double check here.
Okay.
Yeah, in your movement in water. Combat. For one, you don't have line of sight to it if it's in water.
Okay.
Being submerged completely
submerged?
blocks line of sight to and from the mech in that hex unless the mech attempting to draw the hex is submerged as well.
Okay.
But it does work both ways. So it means that he may be having spotters who are letting him know when it needs to, or them letting him know when to come out. You can assume the little red dot at the top of them is their facing, and I actually meant to put this guy this way. So, that's what you picked up this round. On their round, let me make sensor checks for them. Yep, one of them has picked you up. So then, well, I guess you could technically, well, how many hexes away are they? You might, well, they get to move first anyway, but, and this, there we go. Can I make this smaller? No, I can't.
Oof.
49 away, huh?
Yeah.
So LRMs, what's the max range of that?
Mine was 21.
Yeah. So you're going to need to get closer in order to bring those into play. But the assassin, I should have left these open here. Again, for those listening at home, we apologize for the sort of dog's breakfast of disorganization. We decided to play this about 5 minutes before we started playing, so it's going to be a bit of a work in progress here. All right, so then am I on the right layer here? Yeah. Are they on the right layer? What did I do here? They are not. What I wisely did is I sent the assassins to the map layer. They're that well hidden, is that I can't move them at all. All right, so assassins detected you, or one of them did. So I think they're going to start moving out. They can run for 11. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this guy would have been facing a hex face. Probably there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think the Shadowhawk still thinks he's being clever, so he's not moving. So then, our next phase is weapons fire. Are you shooting anybody?
No.
Okay, they are not shooting you either. So then, our heat phase, and no one's generating enough heat for it to be an issue. So we go to the end phase, top of the round, initiative.
So my heat sink's 10. That's how much I reduce it by.
Correct. So you would have generated. You only walked. You generated 1 heat. That's fully dissipated at the end of your round. Yep. Top of the round is, and the red bar on your token should track heat. I've got it set to a 10 maximum. So if it goes over, we can tell what's when problems start occurring with heat. Where's the heat one?
So that's the maximum I can use in one round, is it 10?
No. You can always go above.
Oh.
It's just that what happens is that's how much is dissipated
reduces.
each round. Yeah.
Okay.
As it goes over, there are different thresholds you'll hit. No. Running hot is a very big part of Battletech strategy. There are certain mechs that just like routinely overheat. The difficulty is that you may, if you run too hot, you might have to make a roll for shutdown, where the safeties.
Similar in the computer games, I think, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's one of the signature ways that, like, it's a balancing factor. So, like, in the original game, one of the most powerful weapons is a PPC, a particle projector cannon. And one of my favorite mechs, the Marauder, has 2 of them. Thing is, they generate 10 heat each time you. Oh, is it 10 or is it 7?
So you can't fire them in one round.
Yeah, so they generate an awful lot of heat in one round. Let's see here. PPC generates. That's clan. Where's the fucking inner sphere? Here we go. 10 heat, yeah. 10 heat in a round. Wow. A Marauder, I believe, has 16 heat sinks. So it's overheating by 4 just by firing those things. It also has a medium laser. There's a one called a Warhammer that has 2 PPCs and 2 medium lasers. So, like, that's 26 if you do what's called an alpha strike, where you fire everything at once. Yeah. And so the heat issues are, I'm looking in my Battletech manual here.
Yeah, I guess it's important to know how much you can go over.
Well, in particular for a mech that, like yours, that is chock full of ammunition, because one of the things you roll for is ammo cooking off as it gets too hot in there. So here's the way it works. If 5 over -1 movement points, 8 over +1 modifier to fire, 10 is -2, and it keeps kind of going up. At a 14, you have to roll to avoid shutdown as you're trying to, like, override the safety mechanisms in it. That hits again at 18, which, I mean, it's harder to do that. At 19 is when you start rolling for ammo explosion.
Okay.
And it kind of goes up. Once you're at 30, there's no preventing shutdown. It has to shut down to start dissipating heat each round.
Okay, so we've got a bit of
lots of leeway. An archer's not really one that's prone to overheating all that much, and you can safely, run a little hot. That's part of the fun of the Battletech stuff is like the risk reward that comes from it. I cannot tell you. I have thrown dice one time in my life, and that was when at point blank range I did an alpha strike with my marauder and I missed with every fucking thing, and then I shut down. So those dice got thrown against the fucking wall. It's like, you are out. All right, so then that was the end of round one. Run round two. I rolled a 9 for initiative.
Oh, I'm rolled a 11.
Nice. All right, now you're in the game. Now let me
see what I get up to.
Yeah, so unequal numbers of mechs. Let's see here. Side 1.
Oh, do I get advantage of some sort?
Yeah. What it means is that I'll move, I move 2 on my first turn and then 1 on my second turn.
Right, so alternate it.
Yeah. So then, so you're up first, so I will move 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Tough making his way through those woods, I tell you. Your turn. Go ahead and move your archer.
Okay. I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to run down there. 6 squares.
Okay. And then I move... Oof. I think they know what you are now, and there's no fucking way 2 assassins are going to take you out. So the movement cost through water is... This is also a true representation of the game, is constantly looking up stuff.
Yeah, because you've got to play the same ones over and over to...
Oh, yeah. And one, even like when you get into different situations, like if you're in a building or if you're in a city or whatnot, how do you calculate line of sight? And there are good rules for that, too. But they can lead to a lot of fucking fights, like friends on knees looking up, trying to insist that they have line of sight to another mech. Great fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Movement in water, here we go. 3 movement points for deep water. So this will be sloshing, that's 3, 4, 5, 6... And I'm just gonna see how much Shadowhawk can run. I think, I should have used my jump jets actually. Dummy.
This is
8 is his run.
Yeah.
So there we go. Actually, that's probably getting into difficult terrain there, so I'll put him there. All right. Weapons time. Have you any weapons? Your nearest target is 31 away.
Nah, still out of range.
Technically, there are optional rules for extreme range, but we're just going to keep it to the basic for today.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, I don't think anyone's worrying about heat. So then it's round 3, initiative. I got an 8.
7.
7. Okay, so you move 1. And I'll move the rest of my guys. Let's see where you're going.
Stomp run straight past that cat.
All right. So then, let's see here. I really want to get... think discretion is the better part of valor here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be it. Okay. That's all the moves. Weapon fire.
I think might still.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving the guy. Wrong thing here.
Still out of range.
Yeah, and I don't have line of sight to you yet.
No.
So, 27. I don't think the assassin.
So just with regards to being in the trees,
Yeah.
can you can fire the rockets out or not?
Out, yes. If a target, let's see here.
You know, if I use my sensor operation special ability.
Yeah, so if they're in heavy woods, so these we're treating all these as light woods. Plus one to hit them. Plus one of the target number if they're in light woods. That's why I moved down into the light woods. I wanted the cover from your, in case it was indirect. And sorry, I'm already ignoring the thing I said I was going to do. So it's not your movement rate. It's how many actual hexes you moved is how you calculate the target number. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I was moved 5 there, so I'll be -1 to hit that dude. I'll mark it next time because I'm already forgetting.
Oh yeah, I'm on minus, but I thought we were so far away that it wouldn't really.
No, it's not. But we're now getting closer. I'll try and remember that. All right, and I've zoomed in for the folks at home. Okay, so I am not going to fire. I don't think anything I've got is in range yet.
Nope.
No, 30.
Same for me.
Okay, then round 4. It's initiatize. I got a 4.
An 8.
Nice. So I'll move 2. Let's see here. So here's one advantage to jumping. Jumping costs extra heat, but it gives you, in addition to whatever your movement penalty is, it also gives you an additional +1 to be hit. So if you're trying to be clever, jumping can be a good way to...
You can ignore the terrain, I guess.
Exactly.
Over the top of it, obviously.
You can also change your facing for free, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to jump. I forgot the assassins actually have really good jump jets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6...
I assume there's no sort of landing problems, is there? Unless you're into rough terrain of some description.
Yeah, there probably is. Let me take a look here. Jumping movement. Here we go. Jumping mech ignores terrain. As such, it need not make piloting rolls if moving over hexes that normally force a PSR piloting skill roll. Yeah. There's no issue with jumping in to woods.
Yeah.
Okay, so he moved 7. Put this in here. And +1, so he's going to have +4 to hit him. And then I got to move 1 more. We'll jump as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll land facing this way. Which means he likewise has a 4. Your turn.
Okay, I shall continue. 1, 2. So is it light trees was sort of 2 squares worth, yeah?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So
turning doesn't, like changing facing doesn't cost you anything extra in terrain.
Okay. That is my running.
Okay.
So
all right, I'm gonna move my last guy here.
I'll just put a 2 on him, yeah?
Yeah, because it's that's just to track the movement, the penalty to hit, and then we'll also factor in your terrain and whether the attacker walked, ran, or jumped.
Okay.
2, 3. This guy's gonna run. 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, what am I doing? Cheating. 8. I'm just counting up to whatever number I want to right now. So he's not going to be able to make it to his where he wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. Okay, so he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is -2. Okay. Then it is weapons fire, and you won initiative, so you get to go first here. Do you want to shoot anybody?
Oh, I'm allowed to check the ranges, yeah.
So 20. So one's at long range. That's at long range. Out of range.
So what's the modifier for the ranges?
All right. So target number for each range. Medium range is +2. Long range is +4. So, like, as in, we'll use the assassin as an example here.
+4.
He has +4 because of how fast he moved with his jump, and there's a +1 for cover because of the woods. So that would be +9.
Okay. And my shooting is 3, was it? I think it was.
Yeah,
gunnery 3. So I'd have to roll a 12. Yeah, so that ain't happening.
Oh, no, hold on. But also, you ran. So it's actually a 14.
Yeah. So I won't be shooting this turn.
Okay. Not a bad plan. Now, for them, let's see here. So just to give an idea, the assassin...
So can they do indirect fire without a spotter? Or
no, they can't. Unless they've got a spotter, they cannot do that. That's a special ability only you have.
So they can't see me at the moment?
They're aware that you're there. They can't target you.
Right.
Because they don't have line of sight.
Yep.
Okay.
And we don't have to keep refreshing our sensors once you picked them up.
Once you pick them up, you're kind of...
Yeah.
There's a fusion engine that drives each of these battle mechs, so it's kind of, easy to pick up, whether it's on the heat sensor or, it doesn't cause radiation. It's like...
So you have to go into water to have any chance of sort of losing someone, would you? If you were being chased or something.
Well, because if you've blocked line of sight, like for you, you still need to make a sensor roll each round you want to try and fire that way, because you need to... Yeah.
Because that's a special ability.
But for the others, like you need to track someone down. So it makes it difficult for them here. Okay, so then none of them are firing either.
Okay.
And is he in range? He didn't jump. He actually might have a chance of hitting you. All right, so we're assuming that he's a green mech warrior, so it'll be a gunnery of 4, or an average mech warrior, so gunnery of 4. +2 because he ran, which is 6, +4 because of long range is a 10. +2 from your movement is a 12, +1 for the cover is 13, so same thing. It's going to be just too tricky.
If he hasn't got line of sight, can he even attempt to shoot? Or...
No, he can't. You're absolutely right. Yeah. No, he actually can't.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then that is the end of the round. And yeah, next round. Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
I got a 3.
7.
Okay. So then I'll move 2. All right, I'm going to try and outmaneuver you here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll land that way, so we're facing the front. And he still has the same movement modifiers, and then we'll move this other guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, your turn.
Well, I'm going to try and continue against this guy. 1, 2, 3.
More so than any other game we've streamed, I'm feeling a little more self-conscious about strategy. I feel like I'm going to get comments like, what the fuck did you do that, you idiot? So, then, okay, the Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk is going to... he's probably the best bet they've got for... actually providing a spotter thing here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll move one more. 7, 8. So he's run as well. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's only moved 4, which means it's only +1 to hit him now. That may have not been a good move, but okay. Weapon fire. You get to go first. You shooting anybody?
Let me just check the range. So that's 11 hexes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that's short. No, it's not.
You get +1 to indirect fire. I think indirect fire gets.
Yeah, no, short is 7. So it must be medium up to 14. Yeah. So that's +2. So that's +6. Plus I'm moving. That's plus. Ooh, that's 10.
Okay, and then indirect fire. +1 to your target number.
Yeah. So I'd need a 9. Okay. So with regards to the long-range missiles, it says how much ammo I've got, but it says the damage is 1 per missile. So do you have to decide how many you're firing?
No, the way it works
or?
is you also roll randomly to see how many of the cluster that are fired. You make a roll, the higher the better. That tells you how many more hit. And for long-range missiles, we divide it up into bundles of 5, and then we roll hit location for each of them.
Okay. So the 12 ammo is at 12 shots of a cluster.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like
24 shots total, and then you're down to your medium lasers.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna fire off. Let's see if we can get an early
so
shot.
the target. So yes, it's 3 to start with, right? 4, 5 because you ran. 6 for indirect fire. 10 because of his movement. 11 because of the cover.
And then it goes back down to 10 because of my special ability, the +1, or
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So 10.
Yeah, it's a bit of an outsider, but.
Oh, hold on. We didn't include range in that, did we?
It was over 7, so yeah, that'd be 12. Oh no, you won't shoot then.
Okay.
Yeah, 12. That's
fighting in woods is a huge pain in the ass.
Well, it's more because he's fast and nipping about. That 4 is pretty bad.
Yeah. Little fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, then it is their turn to fire if they choose. Now you are in woods, so you get +1. So he would have 4, 5, 6, 7 because he jumped.
But they still can't see me, can they?
They can't see, of course not. No. So line of sight for woods.
I think we said it was 3 hexes.
3 hexes, okay, yeah. So
3 light ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they need to be within 2 light hexes of you. So I guess no one's shooting. That is the end of the round. Next round, initiative. I rolled a 7.
Same as.
Let's re-roll. I can't remember how it's supposed to work, but I got a 7 again.
Okay. 7 again.
I got a 7 again. 9. There you go.
9.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll move 2. All right. So this assassin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is going to jump once again. This one. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's your turn.
I'm gonna keep chasing this one.
Okay.
Change me. 1. That was woods. Yes, that's 2. I think that's not 3. 5.
Snowbank.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, and then the Shadowhawk. So turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't move any further. All right. There are. Let's see here. Oops, wrong button. Sorry, the turn order instead. 1, 2. I'm counting only 2 intervening hexes. I think he's got line of sight to you now.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm going to be shooting him.
Now that is Awesome. Okay, cool. Then, weapon fire. You won initiative. You get to shoot first.
Okay. So the range on the lasers. Okay.
Is 369.
Yeah.
For medium lasers.
So we're 7 away, was it? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I shall fire. What we got? So that was 2 heat I've used this round. I'll pretty much fire everything. I think I've only got
Alpha strike. Love it. Okay.
Yeah, I've only got 5 guns.
So which one do you want to start with? Your long range missiles, or
yeah, I'll fire the two arms of missiles.
So long range missiles actually have a minimum range as well. So this is honestly like ideal range for the long range missiles.
Because that's short range.
Yeah. So that's a 3 for your piloting, 4, 5 because you ran. How many hexes did you actually move though?
I think it was 4, 3 or 4 because of the terrain.
So target number 1 to hit you then.
Oh, right.
Remember, it's not whether how you choose to move affects your target number. How many hexes the target actually moved is what affects the other, which is actually the Shadowhawk shoot. Oh no, it's 1 again. Okay, so then 3 plus 2 because you ran is 5. Range for the long range missiles is no modifier. 9 because of his jump, and 10 because of the woods. So here we go. 2d6. You want to roll 10?
Okay.
Come on. But edge. You could spend edge if you wish to.
So I can use 1 edge.
1 edge. Yeah.
I'll spend that.
Okay, so it's a hit. Let's do damage right away. Give us a 2d6 roll. Let's see how many missiles hit.
Okay.
10. Nice. That is 16. So that is a batch of 5, batch of 5, batch of 5, batch of 1. Okay. Now, give us a 2d6 roll for hit location.
A 6.
So first one, that's firing to the front. That is the right torso. Takes 5 points of damage. So let me just. This is such an unoptimal way of taking care of this. So, but this is how badly we want to play Battletech. Okay, go ahead for the second one. A 3. Oh, right arm takes 5. Oh, bad shape on the right arm. Only 1 armor left there. Next batch of 5
is 4.
4 is right arm as well. Blows into the right arm, and the internal structure is only 6. So that is 4 points. There's 2 left, and that's a critical. Let's see here. Go ahead, roll 2d6 for critical.
That'd be a 6.
6, no critical effect. So you don't need anything vulnerable. And then
just got 1 left.
I'm gonna take us 1 second and quickly look up. Just save myself comments in future if I fuck this up. I can't remember if you roll for criticals when you get through to the internal structure or not. So I'm just gonna look it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hull breach. Love it.
I guess it would make sense if you shot and there was no armor, maybe.
No, it's exactly it. Yeah, you need 8 or less. Yeah, so it's not an automatic crit. You still roll for it. Okay, good to know. My memory of teenage Battletech play is still correct. All right, and then we have 1 point of damage going somewhere else. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
That's a 7.
7 is center torso. So center torso, that is not heavily armored. Okay, and 11. All right, then there's also, I got to double check, there's a piloting check that is triggered when you take, 20 points of damage or more. All right, so that's the first cluster. Rains across the front. His right arm, incidentally, is where his medium laser is. So if you could destroy that, not a bad hit.
Wait, he still gets to shoot, doesn't he?
Definitely. Yeah. This round. Yeah. So then your second one, this is same thing. Target number 10. And remember, if you want to spend edge beforehand, you get +2.
Yeah, I've only got 3 left. So no, I think I'm gonna leave it for this round. See how it goes.
Okay. Yeah. So here we go. That's a miss.
7. That's a miss.
Those missiles fire in. You got 2 medium lasers. They're at long range, which means it's going to be a 12 or less, or 12 or higher to hit.
Yeah, they're all the same, aren't they? Yep. How much heat is that? 2, 4,
I think 3 heat each.
3 each, that's 9, 13. But you only reduce your heat by 5 a round, don't you?
10. The 5 per round is if you're using the role-playing rules where you split up each round into 2 separate rounds.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad then.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the 2 medium lasers.
It's a miss, and
1 medium laser on the right.
Okay.
And then I've got 2 medium lasers central torso. Then I've got a right
but those
arm
are
and left
CT
arm.
rear.
Yeah.
Those are rear-facing medium lasers.
So that's me done.
Notoriously, the back armor on mechs is way weaker than on the front. So,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, getting around and getting a snipe in the back is can be a really useful tactic. All right, so that's impressive. He did not take 20 points of damage this round, so he's not going to have to make a save. But you've blown away all the armor on the arm. Let's start with him. So he is, or they, I should say, I don't know if it's a here. Oh, so long-range missiles are at optimum range for them. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 because they jumped, 8 for your movement, 9 for your cover, and 10 because he's going to be spotting for the others. Because if you're serving a spotter, you take a penalty as well. So I need a 10 to hit you with my long-range missiles. My 2 will not do it. So that goes blasting past you. Medium lasers would be a 12 then. Or, sorry, 12. I rolled an 11. It's a narrow miss. And short-range missiles, I think, are the same range as medium lasers. Same range band.
Do the bad guys have some sort of meta currency edge and stuff? Or
they can. You can introduce that. So, like, especially named guys. If I was, if I had like Joe Bad Guy in there who had better skills or whatnot and had a name and was like shit talking you over the comms, I would probably give them edge as well.
Yep.
And I could give them because there's a whole host of different special, like piloting special abilities you can have too. So they may have those. So yeah, you can make it like each combatant can be really customized. Yeah. Same range as medium laser, so fuck it. Let's fire. I think I'm going to way overheat because the assassin is not equipped. Another 2. Fuck. I think that might actually be jamming. I seem to remember...
critical miss, is there?
Yeah, with certain things like with energy weapons or whatnot, it's not a problem. But I think that certain things like missiles and autocannons can jam. I got a foggy memory of that, but that may be a advanced rule that I'm not remembering. But let's take a look here.
Autocannon sounds plausible. Definitely.
Yeah. Missile launchers. Let's see here. That's heat. That's combat. Okay, here we go. Firing weapons, making the attack. I don't think you're rolling to hit. I don't see it in here. Maybe it's something I'm remembering from
it might be an optional thing. Yeah,
because there's a book this thick of the starting like optionally advanced rules, and then there's another book about that thick that has even more advanced rules for it. So. And we used to play with a lot of them. So that's a miss for him, but he was spotting, which means the other assassin, it's going to be a very hard shot. Well, you're long range. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He can't hit you. The Shadowhawk, which is equipped.
Double 6 is not always a hit then in this.
I was checking to know, like, once it becomes an impossible shot, you can just choose to go off. I mean, one of the ways where you could hit an impossible shot is with your use of edge, though. Even though something's pushed to a 14, you could, in theory, roll a 14 with edge. So it's not impossible for those who are skilled. And he does have an LRM 5. I ran. I'm about to break into a flock of seagulls here. I ran. You ran. Ooh, 11. Is that medium range for...
Yeah, medium.
Nice. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 because he's firing indirect. That's worth a shot. But a 5 is not going to do it. All right, so then damage takes effect, and then heat. You and the assassin need to count up your total heat here.
I have only 10 plus running 12.
7. Okay, so 12. So then you are, but you are standing in a drift of snow, so you can increase your heat
that's
by
what
1.
I thought. Okay, so it's only 1 over.
Okay. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14 heat I generated this round, so down to... He's not standing in snow, is he? Now, that would have been the smart thing to do. So that means he is 4 over, which I don't think 5 is the first trigger, I believe. Things.
Remember, there was an 8 or something.
Yeah, 8's definitely bad news. Here we go. 5 is -1 movement point. Then 8 is -1 to hit. Shutdown is at 14. So we got lots. I got tons of heat to go here. But okay, then that is the end of whatever round that was. Next round, let's roll initiative. I got an 8 this time. 13. Nice.
Jeez.
All right, so that guy didn't like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should just do 7 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he heads further back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Further in. Your turn.
Okay, I'm sensing that he's moving away. I'm gonna turn 1, 2. So I turn around 2. What's my normal movement for? I'm just gonna move. Is that in the trees there? I don't know if that is.
Yeah, I think it's...
Is that class as trees?
If you're spending the movement points to get into it, then yeah, it would be.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
he's just gonna start heading towards that Shadow Hawk.
All right, and the Shadow Hawk.
Both of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here's the thing. The long-range missiles can be devastating at range, but because of that minimum range thing, if you're able to move in close, you can start to
beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you really don't want to be slugging away with literally with
a bigger
archer.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so they do not have line of sight, so it comes down to whether you want to make a tactics or a sensor
well, I can't
check.
fire at him because he's too close.
So here's the way that the minimum range works. Let me just tell you. I think it's +1 to your target number for each hex closer it is.
Oh, so it's not...
It's not impossible, I don't think. But,
I see. I thought it was... you can't do it.
Let me double check. Combat and water, terrain modifiers. Okay. Let's see.
So it's 1 under my minimum.
Plus for... It's 1, so it'll be +1 to your target number then.
All right. No, I'll definitely give that a try.
Okay.
So I've got to do a sensory check first.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Because of my...
So that'll be a 3 or less. Yep. You've got targeting on it, so then it will be... Did you run or did you walk?
I did run because of the difficult terrain and turning. So
that's 3, 4, 5 from running, 6 from his movement, 7 from his cover, 8 for the intervening, and then you don't take the penalty for... or 8 for the minimum range, and then you don't take a penalty for indirect.
Do I get the +1?
Well, it'd be +1. It nets out, so it'd be...
Yeah. So it's an 8.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just wondering if I should spend edge.
To bring that target number down?
It'd be nice to have a good chance of hitting.
Yeah, and a Shadowhawk is a tougher opponent than what the...
I think I won't for the first one, and then depending how the first one goes, I might on the second one.
You can spend as much edge as you want, too. So, like, if you did hit a borderline case, you could spend 2 to get the extra +2.
Yeah, obviously, and you got 3 left, so it's a bit... Okay, so I shall fire both the right torso and left torso. So this is the
LRM 20s.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Solid hit. Nice. So go ahead and roll for cluster. Let's see how many of those hit.
2d6.
Yeah. 10, 16 again. That's what you rolled last time, wasn't it?
Was it a 10? I think it might have been, yeah. I think it was.
Yep, 16 again. Yeah. So let's roll hit locations.
So we've got an 8.
All right, so 8. That's 5 points to the center torso.
Okay.
Center torso. 10 to the center torso.
Oof.
6 is 6. Right torso. So 13 is 6.
And the single 1?
A single 1 point to the 3. Right arm. All right. So that is not quite half for the Shadowhawk. So let's roll for your second one. And you want to spend edge before this one?
So I'm going to spend 1 edge before I roll.
Okay. So it'll be 6. Target number 6 you're rolling against effectively.
Okay.
Yes! 7. Go ahead and roll for cluster. 7 is 12. So 2 5s and 1 2.
So first one is a 3.
That's the right arm again. Right arm taking 6. 9 is left leg. Takes 5, and then for 2 points.
And the 2 is a 6.
6 is right torso again. Oops. All right. So then I need to make a piloting check because.
Oh, was that 20? Was it?
It was 20 points. Yeah. Technically, this wouldn't happen until the end of the round. But let's just make it. So target number was 5. I actually failed. So he's going to fall prone under the barrage of fire from you. They don't have line of sight. They actually can't return fire for this, so I'll just put purple for prone here.
Okay.
And that's all they can do. Is just take that fucking hit because they cannot.
Oh yeah, that's. I can do that heat. That wasn't that much.
No. Oh yeah, that other assassin will go down 7. Yeah, so they'll dissipate their heat right now. They're not dealing with any heat. Next round, initiative.
Okay.
I got a 11.
So it's me to move, yeah?
Did you get a 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and move. I'm going to remind myself what it costs to get up from prone. Standing, it was 2 per attempt, and I need to make a piloting check.
I could get there. Can I sidestep, or is that a... Can you keep your same face in and go sideways, or just to keep slightly further away from the assassin?
Yeah, I can't. Let's take a look here. There are rules for that. I just don't remember if it's in the basic things. Let's see here. Yeah, only quad mechs can do that.
Okay, so I'll have to go in a straight line or do lots of turning. And how far can the assassin jump?
7.
7 squares.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot. I think he might stand his ground.
So I'll reduce your penalty to hit, but it'll also reduce penalty to be hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shall I put that as, is that a 0?
That's a 0 then, yeah.
My red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then for them, this guy's going to spend 2 movement to try and stand up. I succeeded. There's 2 to stand up. And 3, 4, 5, 6. And now he's got his line of sight to you.
Okay.
So then for these guys, let's see. Ooh. It's 12 medium range for...
It's medium for the long-range missiles.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So they're actually going to sit still and going to use his spotting to try and get you with some long-range missiles here. So likewise, they have 0 modifier to hit.
Okay.
And...
This might get a bit messy this turn.
1, 2, 3, which... Let's see here.
You know, it was a 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, +1. So it's the same as he's got there. All right. So then firing, I guess, is them first.
Yep.
So the Shadowhawk is going to spot. So he's got +1 to his thing. He had to run. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is short range for the medium laser. So that is 12. I solidly hit the medium laser, which I think is 5 points of damage.
A medium laser's 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah, that was on my sheet.
I hit you in your... I turn this over. There we go. Your left arm takes 5 points of damage.
Left arm 5. Okay.
And he'll fire his short-range missile. That's a miss. And his autocannon 5. That is an 8. What did I say I needed?
4 was a 9, but you better check it.
4, 5, 6 for running, 7 for spotting,
just 8 for the
8
trees,
for the cover.
right?
Yeah, so that is just a hit. Just 5 points of damage to your center torso.
Center torso 5.
Okay, he's not firing his long-range missiles because that's a wasted effort, but he is spotting for them. So they did not move. It's 4, 5, 6 for range, 7 for indirect fire, 8 for your woods. So they each need an 8 to hit with their long-range missiles.
Okay.
Let's see if that hits. One of them misses, and the second one misses as well. Okay, your turn. What are you doing?
I should just fire all my lasers at the Shadowhawk.
So go ahead. That's 3, 4, 5 for cover. That's it. 5 you need.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So the first one. Oof,
Solid hit. Go ahead and roll hit location.
That'd be a 7.
Center torso again. So there you go. And then second shot.
Second shot.
Solid hit. Roll hit location.
6.
6 is right torso. She's also taking some punishment. I gotta check this. Armor. Right torso. That is almost through the armor on the right torso.
Okay.
Okay, then it is heat, and Shadowhawk has 12 heat sayings. That's more than enough to cover the heat he did. I think that's the end of our round.
Yep.
So then initiative. I got a 7.
An 8.
Nice. All right. The 2 assassins are staying still once again.
So they've all had their go. So what happens if I run in
On the Shadowhawk?
Yeah.
Shadowhawk still gets to move. There's no
yeah.
like attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, so he might not be there. So okay. I think he's got jump jets, hasn't he?
Only 3 jump jets though. Unless it's a non-standard Shadowhawk, only 3 jump jets.
So he can only jump 3 hexes.
Correct.
Okay. And what's my fire arcs on sort of, is it just forward facing?
It depends on where it is. Your torsos are kind of like directly forward in kind of a spread arc. Your arms can be moved to the side, so your left arm, right arm have a little more mobility. Technically in the game as well, you can do a torso twist. So like your legs can be facing one direction, you can move your torso in another.
Right. Yeah, it's just if I move and he jumps over me, I'm sort of, I've still got, I guess.
Well, and death from above is always a threat when you're in.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
If you're back, you can back up, but you can only walk if you're backing up.
I was going to say, can I just do a step backwards like that?
Yep. I think that's into open territory though, so you wouldn't have the cover.
Can I do? Yeah. So is it double move to step back?
Oh, good question. I actually don't know. You might need a piloting check when you're moving through backwards through difficult terrain too.
Yeah, because I think that might. I think that's trees. The second one.
Yeah. Let's hear.
I'm not sure if I'd be able to do that. I might have to be in open.
See, jumping movement, occupied hexes, facing. Doesn't got anything extra to move backwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess if it's in a straight line, it's.
Yeah.
So I'll just move back 2 like that, walking.
Okay. All
That's
right.
me done.
And then.
Just so you don't land on my head.
Trying to decide if he's going to jump to keep within range there and give you the. That's a worse target number for him to hit than for you. Mm-hmm. But I think that's probably the smart trade-off here. 1, 2, 3. He jumps. So you have 3 plus 1 more, so it's a 2 modifier to hit him.
Am I on 1? If I only move 2 hexes?
0.
1, 0. 0.
0.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You won initiative, so you get to shoot first.
Okay. So yeah, I shall open up with the lasers again on the Shadowhawk.
Okay. So that's 3, 4 because you walked, 5, 6 for his movement, 7 for the cover. So 7 for the lasers.
Yep. Okay, so the first one. Ooh, that's bad. No, I'm not going to spend edge on that.
Okay.
So the first one misses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want as way in? So it would be. What do we say? 6. Seeing, 6 for the medium lasers.
Can I shoot up there at them?
Mm-hmm. You have to make a sensor check.
Okay. But because he's not moving, it's not too bad a shot.
No.
So I'm going to try and fire the missiles at him.
Sure. So give us a sensor check.
I'll make a sensor check.
Yeah.
Yep.
No problem. And then it's medium range. So target number will be 3, 4 because you walked, 5, 6 for the range, 7 for the trees. 7.
Yeah. Okay. I shall fire off the first volley.
Yeah, it's a hit. Go ahead and roll for clusters.
Ooh, only 6.
So 6 is
10. Got a feeling it's.
Oh, it was only 10?
Oh no, I'm just sort of thinking. Last time it was, I think 7 was 12 or something.
12.
Oh, it was 12.
Yep.
Okay.
So go ahead for your hit locations. 2 5s and 1 2.
So I've got a 5.
5 is right leg.
9.
Left leg.
And the 2 is 9 again.
9 again. To left leg. Okay. All right, and then your second shot, same thing. It's a 7, I think you needed.
Yep.
Another hit. Go ahead and roll clusters.
And same amount.
Same amount, so 12 for clusters. Go ahead and roll hit location.
So it's 9 again.
Left leg. Hold on, that's actually... Let me take a look here. That might be...
It's 3 on 1.
Let's see here. Yeah, that's a potential critical. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
A 9.
9, that's a crit. And he doesn't have any specific stuff in the left leg, but there are servos in there. So hold on. Because there's like default stuff that's located in the legs.
Okay.
Let's see here. Critical hits. You're applying critical hits. Oh, I'm trying to remember what is automatically located there. Hold up. Let's see. Just stuff when you build a mech that's automatically there.
Yeah.
And do I have that in here? Is that a glance? What's this? Nope. More of these. Nope. Boy, you'd think I'd have one readout or tactical readout for battle mechs somewhere in here, but you'd be thinking wrong. So I know I think there's one listed in here though. Let's see. Nope, not there. Oh, let's see here. Is it listed in here? Nope. Is it in here? So I'm only insistent on trying to find this because I want to give you the full Battletech experience. It's fun seeing your enemy being picked apart by this stuff. Let's see. Is it in here?
Is it different for each mech as well, or is it?
Yeah, it's different for each mech because there's different things that can be located in there. So when you're rolling, it can be a different location. Come on. Don't just be those. Give me a mech. Give me a mech. Give me a mech. Damn it. It's all spaceships. How about this one? Let's see. Come on, give me a mech. Or goddamn spaceships. Give me a mech. Yay! Got a mech. Here we go. All right. So. Left. Give me a 1d6 roll, please.
1d6. 5.
Roll again.
A 1.
1 hip. So hip, critical hit location means and critical hit effects. Hip. Freezes the hip. It cannot make kick attacks. Walking is cut in half. +2 to piloting skill rolls.
Okay.
So you dramatically slowed him down.
And he might fall over if he makes a check.
Oh, yeah, he's got to make the piloting skill check with +2 now. That's right. And then, I'm sorry, you've got, that was a second 5, 2 more damage, right?
I think I've got a 5 and a 2 left.
Okay, go ahead, roll hit location.
So, a 9.
9 is left leg again. So go ahead and roll 2d6.
A 5.
5. So no crit, but let me see if his leg is still around. Barely hanging on.
Okay, and then I just got the last 2, which is on 2.
Ooh, head, I think. No, center torso critical. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
A 10.
10 is... two critical hit locations in the center torso.
Wow.
Center torso is where his jump jets are located, along with some other stuff. Give us a 2d6 roll, please.
That'd be a 10 again.
Okay, so 5. It's just actually the 2 different ones I'm reading because there's 2 different, like, each location has a different number of critical locations it can fill up with shit. Center torso is bigger than the other, so that means it is
2.
That'll be a jump jet. So his jump speed is down to a 4 as well, or a 6.
Okay.
Solid hit. All right. Was that both?
Yep.
Okay, then I need to make a piloting check for him. With +2, no, I failed. So he's also going to be knocked down and have a hell of a time trying to get up.
He shoots first, doesn't he?
He does shoot first, yes. And I've got 2 that can fire indirectly. You're in cover, so it's 6, 7 for indirect, 8 because of your cover.
I did move slightly, but I don't know if that's affected it.
No. Okay. All right, so 8 or higher. A hit with 1.
Yep.
That is 7 for cluster, which is 3. So you'll take 3 points of damage to your... That one's coming... Ooh, your rear. Your right arm takes 3 points of damage.
Right arm, 3.
Other one fires, misses with LRMs, and then the Shadowhawk jumped. It's 4, 5, 6, 7 for its jump, 8 for your cover. So it needs an 8 to hit with the medium laser. I miss. An 8 with the AC 5, miss. 8 to hit with the SRMs, miss as well. Terrible rolls.
Wow.
All right, then the assassin falls prone up here after you blow its hip away. All right, let's initiatize. How are you doing for heat?
Oh yeah, so it's 2, 4, 10.
Walked, there's only 1 from
I
that.
only walked, yeah, and I walked back into the snow, so...
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then
+1 heat.
I rolled a 9 for initiative.
8.
8. Okay, so you move first.
So I think, yeah, he doesn't want the death from above situation. So he'll just he'll just take take 2 steps back again.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Then he's gonna keep doing what he's doing. 1, 2, 3, and try and keep you in range there. All right, and then this guy needs to try and stand up. So 2 points of his walking, which is now. It said halve the walking.
It reduces jump jets, didn't it? And it reduced. Well, it made his piloting plus
Walking's
2.
cut in half. So the assassin has a walking speed of 3 now because of his busted hip. So,
Okay.
and a run of 5. So I succeeded in standing up. So there's that. And then he might as well run, so move 2 forward just to try and keep you in short range. So there's no modifier to hit him, but he had to run. The other one's staying stationary. So shooting. Start with Shadowhawk. So he jumped again. So I think it's a 4, 5, 6, 7 for your range. So I need a 7 or 7 for your cover. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I hit with the medium laser. That's 5 points of damage. Sorry, jack dice. 5 points of damage to your right torso. AC 5 is a miss. Short range missiles are a hit.
Okay.
Short range missiles are each individual one that you assign, but they do 2 points of damage for each hit.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 8. So 2 of them hit. You take 2 points to the center torso, 2 points to the center torso.
So it's 4 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. It should be an 8. I missed. Oh. Add 5 back to that. Wherever the medium laser, I think your right torso.
Yeah.
Ignore 5 points of damage. That would have been a miss because of this indirect spotting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the first one is 4, 5, 6 for range, 7 for your cover, 8 for indirect. Okay. That is a miss. And then the other one is same thing, 8, 9, 10 because of running. Miss. Your turn.
Okay. I did lasers against the Shadowhawk first.
Okay.
Obviously.
So that is going to be 3, 4 because you walked, 5, 6 for his movement, 7 for his cover.
7. Yeah.
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 So that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. No, hit location. Roll damage. Yeah.
10,
Madison, what game were you playing again? There's a 10.
5 on a 10. Yeah.
Okay, 10. Left arm.
Okay.
Takes
and
5.
The second laser. I needed an 8, didn't I?
I think so. Yeah. Do you want to spend edge?
Yeah, I'll spend 1 edge.
Okay, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll hit location.
4.
4. Right arm. Okay.
It's 5 damage. So the missiles, because they're indirect, can I fire back towards this one down here? Or...
Yeah, the one at the top is the one that's more that actually busted the hip on.
Yep.
But either of them. If you make your successful sensor check, then yeah, either of them.
Well, potentially I'll fire at both then. I'll do the sensor check first. Cause
I think so. Just so to avoid comments, I think that rules is written. If you're firing on more targets, it affects your target number. But I don't care for today.
So the sensor check. Oh,
just barely.
Just made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's successful.
I'll fire the same target.
Yeah. So that's 3, 4 because you walked. 5, 6 for range, 7 for the cover. That's it.
Okay. So the first shot is definitely a miss. Second shot
is a hit. Roll for cluster.
Ooh, 5.
That's 12 still. You really have to try hard to not get 12.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll 5 points of damage.
First one is a 6.
6 is right torso. That actually, hold on, that might be a crit.
Oh, second one's a 6 as well.
Okay, so second one is 6. I'll apply, so that's is... Hold on, let's see if that's still around. Right torso. It is definitely... It's still around, but it is into the crit territory. So go ahead and roll 2, and it would have been the first one, so you're going to have 2 chances at crits here. Go ahead and roll 2d6. So no crit from the first one, 2d6 for the second. 1 crit. What's in the right torso? Let's see. Right torso. Hey, there's some long-range missile ammunition there, and there's a long-range missile launcher. So go ahead and roll 1d6.
Just the one?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 5.
That is 1 dead assassin. I believe I've only fired 3 times with it, which means I have... 3 times was 21 ammo left in there. 21 times 5 is 105, which then goes first into the interior structure for the torso, then goes into the center torso, then into... So this thing cooks off and it just explodes. That is the end of him. You still have your second one. I'm fine with you firing it on their target because fuck it, we're... Oh, you missed with that first one, didn't you?
Yeah, I missed with 1.
Okay.
That was the second shot.
All right. So that is 1 of your enemies down. Here's one of the other good things with this is now it, like as you whittle down the forces, it becomes more of a like, the turn order changes up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think
so
I still move
gonna
like
have to go.
I move 1, you move 1, but let me double check here. Okay,
Yeah, so
unequal numbers of mechs.
I guess it'll just alternate when there's only 2 against 1.
No, I must. So I got to declare 2 mechs. This is where the advantage comes to use. Because I'm outnumbering you, it means if you win initiative, I move both of mine, then you move you.
Well, I guess that's a good for you, though, because you could potentially jump jet on top of me if you win.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Although I think that Death from Above takes place on the physical attack phase. Yeah,
so
I just need to have that available.
Move out of the way. Okay.
Yeah. I don't. Let me double check that because I actually. That's a good question.
Because you're penalised otherwise, aren't you? I suppose.
Yeah, like I think.
By going first.
What's your physical attack phase?
Yeah, you'd never be able to do it if you.
Death from Above attacks. Deaths from above are declared in the movement phase. Yeah, so that and charges are declared in the movement phase. They just take place in the physical action phase. So, yes, I could still, if I'm within 3 and have those jump capability available.
Yep.
All right, so then initiative. Let's see here.
8.
I got a 5, so I got to move 2. Oh, this is a tricky one now. God dang. You know what he's going to do? And land right there, facing this direction. Really wants to keep it in line of sight if he can. And then this one, I have to, I think, does he stay? Because you could run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I've only got run 6. So
6, yeah, but I think. Oh,
the
yes.
rough terrain, I mean, it slows me down quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I can keep my line of sight to you, though. Because you could, in theory, furthest away from you can get is right there. And then I'd have, like, that touches the edge of this one. That's sort of what you use to, you go center to center of the hex. It brushes up against this one. That means 1, 2, 3, which means I would lose my line of sight to you.
Yeah.
So, In which case, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Even if I backed up, would you lose your sort of line of sight? Well, you'd be facing
depends
the
on
wrong
what weapon
direction
I'm using. You can only move 2 back. So that actually, like stuff in my left arm, I could still target you with, but I couldn't anything say in the right arm or the right torso. I couldn't because I didn't declare a torso change. But what I'll do, 1, 2, 3. So you potentially could get up to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a bit of a suicidal move here, but I need to keep line of sight on you, and I need to make a paladin check because of that fucked up hip. I succeeded on my paladin check, though. Not by much, but... your turn to move. What are you doing? Oh, and I want to be facing this direction. There we go. On the land.
Yeah, I think that would be a bit crazy. So, yeah, he will just back up.
Remember, you get that, just as a tip, you can also do physical attacks, and you get +1 to hit with punches.
Yeah. Yes, just he'd have to turn round and be shot in the back, wouldn't he? It'd be interesting to see how it works, though, I suppose.
I mean, you could still move 1 back and then still physical attack. Still punch. Okay.
Yeah. If you want. He'll turn to face him then. Nice.
Okay. Damage is, if I remember, damage from a punch is 1 point per 10 tons. Damage from a kick is 1 point per 5 tons, I think.
Okay. That's quite nice.
Before I'm overselling this, a charge I think is 1 per 5. Let's see here. Just because a punch is easier to land and doesn't require a paladin check.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Clubs. Physical attacks. Here we go.
Okay. The archer that got a bonus with punching, wasn't it? So.
Does, yeah, because of those fists.
Heavy fists. Okay.
Kick attacks, punch attacks. 1 for every 10. 1 for every 5. No, I got it right. Huh. And this thing actually has a damaged left leg. So, well, depending on what you want to do, the punches will hit somewhere in the upper area, and there's a fair bit of damage in the torso. Kicks will land in the lower area. There's only some damage to the leg.
Yeah, it'd go for a punch, I think.
Yeah. So first thing we do is weapon fire mode, then it's physical attack. So I lost initiative, so you get to shoot first.
Yeah, so shooting first, say. So it fired both his lasers.
Okay, the Shadowhawk. So that's going to be
is there such a thing as point blank?
4 because you walked. There's no point blank bonus.
No.
But there's 4, 5, 6 because of his jump, 7 because of his cover.
Okay.
Nice. Solid hit. Go ahead and roll hit location.
A 7.
7. Center torso. That's okay. Hold on. You actually might be getting close to get through his armor there. Yeah, barely any left. Go ahead and hit for your second one.
So second laser is a hit.
Hey, that's hit as well.
5.
5. Right leg. So both his legs have taken 5. Tactically speaking, I think because you can't fire weapons from a limb and then attack with them in the same round, we're going to ignore that. I'm just saving myself another comment for this. 2 years from now, someone will come on and say, well, actually, we know. We don't care. So then, is that it for you? Or are you going to fire your missiles?
Yeah, I mean, I'd fire my missiles up there.
Okay, he should have a 4. Let me tell you the difficulty actually first. He jumped 7, so it's actually a 4.
He's only 7 away, which is good for me.
So short range, so it's 3.
Plus 4.
4 because you walked. 8 because of his movement. 9 because of his
9 for cover.
9's actually not that bad.
I've got to make a sensor check though, have I?
Yep, sensor check first.
So let's do that first.
Yep.
And then so I need a 9
to hit.
Definitely not.
Miss with the first.
Second one.
It's for the second. Okay.
Okay.
Then Shadowhawk is going to shoot his medium laser. So hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7 for his jumping. 8 for your cover, so I just barely hit you. 9 because he's indirect spotting. So he misses with his laser. I hit with his AC 5. Is 5 points of damage to your right torso.
Right torso.
And then his short range missile. Now I hit as well with that. I hit with 1 of them. So you take 2 points of damage to the left leg.
Left leg.
And then the assassin, I don't know why I bothered spotting. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7 because he jumped. 8 because of your cover. 9 because of his... Well, 9's not that, not impossible. An 8, though, is not going to be good enough. So just barely misses you with his long-range missiles. Then, physical. You're up first. So
So what do I need with the...
So to hit with it, it is a piloting check, I believe. Make a physical attack as you make your piloting check.
Piloting check.
And you get +1 to the roll. So your target number... What is your target number for piloting? It's a 3, isn't it?
Piloting is 3, I think.
Yeah, so
piloting, 3.
Basically, you just don't roll...
Yeah, I got 6.
Yeah. Oh, so that's a hit. Hit location for the punch is a 1d6 roll.
Oh. Let me roll that again.
Yeah, it's a different location for 4. 4 is into the right torso. 7 points of damage to the right torso. Actually is a potential crit.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and roll
a 9.
2d6. 9 is 1 critical hit location. And that was the right torso. LRM 5 is in there, so give us a 1d6 roll.
That'd be a 2.
Ooh. So 2 would hit... what else is in there? Let's see here. One, 2. That's the fucking ammo as well.
Oh.
So I'm not sure has fired much of any, but even like 21. So you hit in there, as your fist comes out, it's cooking off, and there's this huge explosion as his ammo cooks off from you, punching through into his weakened armor.
Would that potentially do blast damage against me normally?
It's possible. Again, there's rules for everything for it, I think that your hardened fist probably, like, as that is starting off, you're pulling out from in there, so it all cooks off, and then that is another one gone. And I think the assassin... I think the assassin is going to run away, but he's got to make a piloting check. So this is one of the things with Battletech that can make these things last a really fucking long time, is if you've obviously disabled one thing, they're going to keep jumping away. So I can make it really hard for you to hit. So you can have situations where you're down to like 1 or 2 mechs left, and it's just a complete pain in the ass to try and hit them.
You can't catch them.
Oh yeah, because they're hopping around and they're making it, because that's a really good way. And if your dice just don't happen to like you, like we had one company versus company session that lasted 16 fucking hours.
Wow.
We had 2 meals in the course of that thing, where we had to break and have, proper meals so that we were still fueled up for it. And the end of that one ended up being a medium mech called a Phoenix Hawk pogoing around still, and they just could not get a hit on it. And it was frustrating as fuck. But so in this, but given the time, we're 9 minutes to the end. If you demand this guy surrender, he will.
Yeah, it would at that stage.
All right.
Yeah. Give him a chance.
So then you have gone through your first baptism of fire of the Battletech tabletop game, and in the least optimal way, because you were not using the fun little tech readouts, where you're able to just like fill in bubbles as you're doing damage. But how did that compare to the video game?
You get the feel of it. you know, it's got them similarities where you're launching off, and you can see that arms are falling off and legs are falling off, and the heat. Didn't have too much problems with heat this time.
No,
but,
and Archers are pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah,
solid thing. Yeah.
The thing with the Archer is, or the downside sort of to the Archer is just the ammo reliance. So, like in an extended combat, like it may not surprise you to learn that there are extensive rules for running like extended campaigns and planetary sieges and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I went down to 7 ammo, so I went from 12 to 7. So, you know, and that was fairly quick in the Battletech battles, I should imagine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, if you're going, I can see the sort of if it's a longer sort of scenario or whatever with multiple small skirmishes and that, you've really got to pick your targets and, you know, when to do it, and the edge was pretty tight with how much edge you get.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. That was we've played with it before, but and the special ability is pretty cool too, I think, for not only the trait for the mech, but also your character's special ability. Because it would have been, imagine if you were relying on someone spotting for you.
That would have been non-event.
Yeah,
because I got a lot of damage from the missiles. Most of my advantage was from the missiles.
So then imagine, if you will, what the scenario might have been like if we'd used this map. I'll zoom out again for the folks at home.
Yeah, because it's a lot more open, isn't it?
It's a lot more open, but there's also a lot of like areas where you could slip by and try and use cover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, jump on top of buildings to get better line of sight and stuff like that.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's very tactical. Very tactical. I could see that being a lot of fun. I quite like the tactical stuff. But I think it'd be quite good to mix it in with some role playing as well.
Definitely.
So it's not just like a board game.
Well, and there's a really fun, as part of the, I mean, as part of the fun of the, I think of the setting, like the, because of that sort of dynastic struggle stuff, or the intrigue between the different houses and whatnot, like there's fascinating stuff. I think, like the reason I picked the Americagani, if I remember correctly, they actually lose control of the planet, canonically speaking, well before this happens, because of struggles between other members of the family. And there's so even in like this one time period that you pick, and then one specific region and one planet, there's already like tons of interesting different role-playing elements that you can go on, setting aside whatever, if the prince has any siblings, who may also want to be superseding them. Depending on your relationship with your siblings, they may want to protect you, or may want to put you in a position where, well, let's just have, he died because of an enemy force was aware of what his capabilities were and deployed way more troops. And now that he's dead, gosh, Dad, someone needs to take charge of the heir. So Yeah, but well, that was great. Again, for those listening at home, this was something we threw together, at when we were supposed to start the Warhammer game. So my apologies for any rockiness with this, but this was a lot of fucking fun to play. I remember how much fun Battletech is. Like once you get used to calculating all the different things, you start remembering what the things are, and it's easier when you have the sheets as well. So if I were to load, definitely when we play this next year, I'm going to load all the different tables in there, so it'll be easy access for it. I mean, Will, I know, has all the tables because he went all in on one of the more recent Battletech Kickstarters for it, so he's got a lot of material to draw on. But this is pretty fucking fun, and it worked pretty well on with the thing. I think having the downside is just tracking the damage to the individual mechs, because you do need to keep track of all those individual things. I was just writing it down and referring to the numbers on the armor. Yeah, that's what we used to do. Like
until it got to there.
When we were kids and couldn't afford photocopies, that's exactly what we did too. Is just did that. I think if I was running, when we run this next year, I'm going to make sure I've got the tech readouts for your enemy ones, so I can track them that way. Or if anyone, I should say, if anyone at home listening now or later has a better suggestion for how to track this on Roll20, we don't use other virtual tabletops, so like suggestions to use other tabletops is just not, it's not something we're going to be able to do. So, but if there is a workaround that people have worked out on Battletech, let me know. Because I'd be happy to implement that. Ideally, having a character sheet that functioned like a mech sheet would be fucking amazing for it. But yeah, any last thoughts on Battletech before we make to our outro?
No, I mean, like I say, it's nice to do the tactical thing occasionally, so I enjoy that. I'm a tabletop gamer, miniatures sort of. I still do that, so yeah, it makes a nice change. But like I say, interlinked with a bit of role play and things, because obviously those battles can go the distance by the feel of it.
That is definitely one. Like, we only had 3 rival mechs in there, and like I think combat wise, we probably took 2.5 hours or 2 hours, probably 2 hours, because we probably spent half hour fucking around.
Hours, yeah.
I was faffing about the history of Battletech before, so I imagine it's only 2. But yeah, like 2 hours just for 3 mechs in combat. You can imagine what it's like when you got a full lance versus a full lance, or more.
Yeah.
It could potentially, but I'd be interested to see how fast it does go, though, because you're not having multiple encounters in Battletech. You're having one major engagement, I think, with each session. So yeah. Awesome.
No, I enjoyed it.
Great. That's great to hear. Then, for those listening at home, we'll be back with our regularly scheduled Warhammer game in 2 weeks' time. But in the interim, we hope that you enjoyed spending some time in the inner sphere with us, albeit an older or a Amaris Coup inner sphere. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game we played, or anything else Battletech related, then please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have channels dedicated to most games we run on the channel. We don't have a Battletech one, but we have an assorted game, so if you want to chat about Battletech, you're welcome to join us over there. There's also a ton of other channels dedicated to most other games we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great channels like Finding a Group, or general GM discussion or advice. So lots of ways, lots of great people over there. There's a terrific community that has built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print role-playing games in North America. They also have a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, including Battletech. But they also have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, including some Battletech stuff. If you make a purchase through their website of $10 or more, be sure to enter the code FALLMUSER at checkout, all one word, all caps, and you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising we do in the channel, a charity fundraising program. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries and benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and Morocco at the time of recording. All donations through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services, and as a small way of saying thank you. If you've donated $10 or more since June 1st, 2023, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and you'll be able to cast your vote for the elements of the final session of our year-long Year of Ill Omens campaign. It is looking very strongly like we'll be playing something set in the 1980s. So the next thing will be, what kind of hero characters are we going to play, and what game will we be using? I have been thinking long and hard about what the options might be for this. So I hope to have some of the best options we've had thus far. And if you've donated $10 or more, you'll be able to cast your vote for which of those options we'll be seeing in that play. This is the final part of our 6-part year-long campaign. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what people do with it. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart mech warrior from tonight. So Darren, thank you so much for joining. I know we had everyone kind of drop away at the last minute for this, or called away for other reasons. This was a lot of fun. I'm really glad we got a chance to get this to the table. So thank you.
That's cool.
And then for those listening at home, we'll be back in Solzen, or the Nordland, outside of Solzenmund in 2 weeks' time in the grim and perilous old world. But until then, we hope that we gave you a couple of hours, take your mind off the troubles of our world, and see the troubles that our stalwart Merrick mech warrior is running into during his training operations. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.